Off and hand it over to you, Aditi. Hello, everyone. Sorry so much. We were having some technical issues, so we are a little late, but none of the issues. We'll cover up everything in time. So I will request Aditi to please take over the session.
Thank you, Rupesh. Good evening, one and all. My name is Aditi Reddy, and on behalf of Cyber Jagrithi, I welcome all of you for the webinar or careers on cyber law today with Advocate Rahul Kapur. The Cyber Vakeel is the flagship event of the Cyber Jagrithi Foundation, an online campaign launched by Cyber Jagrithi covering a multitude of themes on cyber crimes. This campaign aspires to be an interactive and an informative platform for a healthy discussion on digital wellness and cyber safety. With the rise of COVID 19, people have started to spend more time on the cyberspace. Children and women, especially, are exposed to the internet. Thus, safeguarding oneself as well as spreading awareness about digital safety and literacy is the need of the hour. The campaign shall be launched in a multifold manner where several deliverables like live sessions, informative videos, flyers, surveys, polls, and a bunch of interesting competitions like poster making, article writing, video making will be conducted. Sir, we appreciate you taking time of your busy schedule to join us today. Before we start, I just want to let you all know about Rahul sir. Sir has completed a bachelor's degree in business administration from Champlain University, Vermont University, USA. In the year 2014 and has completed LLB from the University of Mumbai and is a registered attorney with the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, and he's also registered with the All India Bar Association. In 2016, Sir has completed LLM in business laws from the University of Mumbai. Rahul sir is currently pursuing solicitor examination conducted by Bombay Incorporated Law Society, High Court of Bombay. Sir is an industrious and extremely hardworking attorney and well known for his astute and sound representations before various authorities. Sir holds wide knowledge of corporate laws and specializes in corporate and regulatory compliances, including incorporation of companies and their ongoing compliance with rules and procedures of the Register of Companies and other regulatory bodies. Sir also holds a diploma in cyber laws and security laws and is a visiting faculty in various colleges in Mumbai. Sir is also a partner of a cyber investigation and forensic firm in Mumbai, Indian Cyber Institute, giving legal opinions and suggestions to various statutory and non-statutory authorities in India with respect to cyber laws, investigation, and securities. Sir strives to work hard with utmost dedication in the chosen field of law, thereby serving the humanity through his contributions in the nature and circumstances as it demands. So I hope today's webinar will be very insightful and enriching for a lot of BBA LLB students like us. So, sir, I would like you to take over.
Thank you, Aditi, for such a warm welcome and my appreciation. With respect to your introduction and what you said, how cyber law plays a very important role in today's society, especially during this lockdown period and COVID situation, it is very important to know as of now what will be the career options, what will be the progressive options or the future as we can predict from today about the scenario that will take place in the entire nation. With respect to cyber law, what the first thing that you should know or one should know about it is that it all starts with internet. If we see in the year 2002 3 when we were in school or when we were just born, there was an essay which stated whether internet is a boom or a curse. This was something which was commonly spoken at that time. Whether it will be a curse or whether it will be a boom, that was a question. Now the scenario is such that it is not a boom, it is not a curse, it is a devil as well as a deep sea. You have to choose between both of them. It is bad, it is good, you can agree with both of things. But how do we use, how do we see cyber, how do we see the laws connected to it, do we see the crimes that are connected to it, that will determine how deep we can go into all these factors. Now coming to the question, is the first thing that we should know is whether the internet is the devil or the deep sea. It is bad. That is one thing for sure that I can tell you right now. It is good in some aspect, but looking towards current scenario and looking towards the progress that has taken place from over the past several years, I don't see that it's been used to such a good extent. Of course, we cannot live without it. That is the truth. We cannot think our life as of now without an internet, without a smartphone, without a laptop. We require in each and every small aspect, whether it is from texting on WhatsApp to Googling about anything, or during this lockdown period to learn how to cook several dishes at home, or to make a bank transaction. We just need internet. Without internet we cannot survive. And therefore this scenario that has been created in our life, that what we wanted is now what we need, has created in such a point that people have started misusing it, people have started abusing it. Those people who are not even technical, does not know technical know-how, still they know how to hack computers, they know how to access your private data, they know how to do the identity thefts. And this has created a loophole, this has created a lacuna in the society, which has given an exposure to people to make cybercrime so easy, and cyber investigation or the outcome so difficult. If we see that the laws that are there to prevent cyber crimes, if we see, there are very few laws. And if you just have to imagine how a life will be without the laws that can govern the entire aspect, it's going to be a very difficult scenario. But still, there are plenty of opportunities which we can take help of. We can understand that with respect to cyber crimes, one has to understand am I
Rahulji, you're audible.
sorry,
You're audible. You're audible now. Yeah, go ahead, please.
should I continue?
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry for that.
Okay. Now coming to the question of cybercrime, any crime that has been committed through internet can be termed as cybercrime. When we think, as the topic is for today, the careers in cyber law, there are few things that you need to understand: what is cyber and what is law, and how do you connect these two things when it comes to cyber, choosing an option or choosing a career in cyber law. And to do that, most importantly, you should also understand that what is the entire aspect of, or the entire focus behind enacting any cyber laws. It is for the prevention, it is for protection of the crimes. If you see statistically, like I have, like on the screen, it can be seen that in the year 2015, the cyber crimes that were reported was 200 million. As of now, in 2019, 2020, it has reached to 600 million. Especially during this lockdown period that has started from March onwards, we have seen a tremendous growth in cyber crimes. People have stopped going out due to pandemic situation. You are forced to stay inside. All you can do, all one can do, is through internet, through apps, and this has given a very huge opening for cybercrime to take place. Of course, with good internet connectivity, there is high possibility that cybercrime will increase day by day. The moment you get cybercrime growth, you get cyber laws to be stringent. You have cyber law, you increase a chance to open up your career in cyber laws. When I say good connectivity, of course, you can identify if you have been using 2G networks, or before that a normal edge networks. From edge, it was very difficult. 2G was very difficult to access. 3G was okay. 4G is good. 5G is better. Now I don't know how many Gs will come in future thanks to all the good network connectivities. But more internet is accessible. It's easy to operate. One can understand that cyber crime will take place. There is law to handle such crimes. Therefore, it gives an opportunity for a person to open and understand the career options that they have. When I say what is the career options, you have to understand that there are two ways to see these things. One is to understand whether it is a cyber related career, or whether it is a law related career. With respect to those who have been enrolled as a law student, of course, just understanding law will not make you a cyber lawyer or an advocate. To understand technical know-how, if you know only technical know-how, like how to use a laptop or how to use a computer or how to do coding, how to plant a malware or a trojan in someone's PC or a laptop, or how to extract datas from a hard drive or a pen drive, will not make you a good lawyer. Both the combination of cyber knowledge as well as the law aspect should be combined, and then your wisdom will give you an opportunity to increase your knowledge and to publicize how good lawyer you are in this field. If you see what are the cyber crimes, like I have told you, the general cyber crimes, that these are the list that is there on your screen, is just a fraction of cyber crimes that have taken place. It is just categorized in such a manner that most of the crimes fall into these categories, but there are innumerable ways through which cyber crimes can take place. Hacking or unauthorized access to computers. When I say computers, it means your smartphone. It means anything where you can store your data, you can transmit your data, you can import or export your data. You have identity theft, whereby through your fingerprints or web cameras, or you see that it is a very good feature on a smartphone to have your iris scan or fingerprint scan, but whether it is good or not is a question how it is used. Of course, there is data theft. You give your information while accessing any apps. You allow put notifications. You allow cookies to enter into your laptops or your systems to track your data. You have credit card frauds and banking frauds, which are most popular right now in India also, and in abroad in US. It is highly considered to be a credit card fraud, where people will make you believe that your credit card is either blocked or exceeded its normal limit, and therefore you are requested to go and purchase something which is not in the normal course of business. You end up buying that and give money to the scammers. Then there is cyber terrorism, which I don't know, but I'm having a very bad feeling that it will be attacked in coming futures, because the way how cyber crimes are taking place through small networks and creating a huge scenario, it's a very bad situation when it comes to cyber terrorism. Developing or spreading malware and virus, like I told you, if you know how a Trojan can be planted or how a malware can be planted in the system, you know only the technical knowledge, but you don't know how to use such knowledge and protect yourself and protect the near ones, or be an advocate or a lawyer to a society to protect the entire law. Then there is spamming and phishing cyber crimes that takes place. You have IPR violations which takes place, IPR, intellectual property rights, copyrights, trademarks. You have informations that are available on the net. However, you can copy it, plagiarize it, and send it, creating your own content. But whether such content can be, how can you stop such contents, or how can you stop such violations? Another type of cyber crimes that normally take place is pornography and child pornography. Of course, pornography and child pornography are both illegal and banned. Especially child pornography is completely banned. But there are ways through which cyber crimes have taken place or is still going on. The question is, how do you use your intellect? How do you use your wisdom or knowledge to protect these crimes? How do you use the knowledge to show that your society or your case or any person who have come in contact with such crimes is protected? How do you stop such crimes? What do we need? The first thing that we need in order to establish the career, I again once again say that this entire thing talks about career options. Career options, when I say, it is an option which is left to an individual to identify how good its skill is, how good he or she can perform in the society to bring and upgrade his or her career options. But you require certain basic skeleton that should be followed in the entire course of journey. The first thing is awareness. When I say awareness, what is important is you need to be aware, you need to make others aware. About what? One, about the crime types of crimes that are taking place. If you have an option of talking to your parents or your grandparents, you will come to know that it is very difficult to explain how these scenario work to your grandparents, because they do not belong or they do not have encountered such categories of crimes during their generation. To explain them, it is a very difficult task, and this gives a big window for a criminal or offender to enter and manipulate data to uh, identify these set of categories which can be easily tapped. And therefore at that moment आप देखोगे, it is a very common aspect that the OTPs are normally shared by senior citizens. Why? Because they are not made aware, of how this OTP can make a person lose the entire money. How can this person be, how it's very difficult for a senior citizen to understand that how a 5 digit or a 6 digit number can give access for the entire banking system and give an access to an unknown person to remove money from his or her bank account and transfer it without any trace. And therefore इतना छोटी सी बात के लिए they think that okay, it's just a number, right? If we can give it, what is a big deal? But this awareness makes a lot of difference. We need to make them aware, we need to make ourselves aware, we need to make other people aware that smallest thing can lead to big repercussion. And therefore awareness becomes a prime important issue when it comes to becoming or choosing a career option in cyber laws. Second is knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge and wisdoms are two different words, but in order to gain wisdom, you should have a knowledge about it. After you are aware, The second thing is to upgrade yourself continuously with the laws, continuously with the types of new cases that are taking place, not only in India, not only in your society, but worldwide. Once you are aware, once you are knowledgeable or gained information of what are the types of crimes that are taking place, convert these thoughts in, think about it, how can it be solved, do a research, and then convert this information or knowledge to a wisdom. Of course, with appropriate surveillance, intelligence and policies which can be provided by institution, which can be provided by government, we can have a protected environment. Of course, we also need stringent cyber laws. As of now, if you see, there is only one law, one act which governs the entire cyber so-called cyber crimes, that is Information Technology Act. By far, this act is also very small. It's only covered in 13 chapters. But whether these 13 chapters is sufficient enough to cover all the aspects of cybercrime, I don't think so. We should have more and more laws. We should have more and more acts to understand, okay, how, what we want, what are we facing right now, and how we can build up a career in this entire scenario. When we say strong prosecution, that is the weakest link as of now, how cyber crimes or criminals who have encountered cyber offenses are set free, is because the prosecution, that is police or the enforcement agencies or your public prosecutors, are not well aware of the laws. They are not well aware of the society, of the entire case laws or different kinds of crimes that have taken place. To understand how phishing works, to understand how a Trojan or a malware virus can be implanted on a laptop or a mobile phone is very important in this career option. And to become a lawyer, you all you need to do is you approach a law college, you give your CAT, you study for either 3 years or 5 years, complete your law, go and give your bar examination, and you become a lawyer. That is a general field. But once you enter into that general field, you have to choose a specialized line. You can become a property lawyer, you can become a criminal lawyer, you can become a cyber lawyer. But when it comes to cyber lawyer, you also need to know technical news. What is the programming? What is the code? How can you manipulate the entire web page? How can you make the web page look similar to another web page and lure a person to enter the credentials into that website? Once that is done, you are making a system, and you are understanding a system in such a manner to explain your clients or to explain the government agencies, or you can explain any person, whoever uses a laptop or whoever uses an internet, that such laws, how it can be stopped, how such crimes can be stopped with such laws. When it comes to cyber laws, laws enacted for the purpose of prevention and prosecution of any crime committed using any information technology, tools, or methods that require a computer or a computer device. The definition is very simple, that a cyber law is enacted with a purpose. There is a purpose. There are two purposes, that is prevention and prosecution of a crime which is committed. How it is committed is by using any information, by using any technology, tools, or methods that requires a computer or a computer device. Now, cyber law prevents from malicious intent and misuse of the internet. Law is something that is always made or has been always enacted in to protect certain crimes, certain offenses. If there is no offense, you do not require any law. But if there is an offense, you require, or if there is a crime, you require a law to protect that crime. You require a law to make or to prevent such crime to take place. And therefore, to understand cyber law, it's a very, very vast topic. It cannot be covered in just a couple of hours. But yes, you can understand one thing, that there are two ways to understand, two ways to look at it. One, it covers cyber. One, it covers the laws which governs the cyber. As a law student or any person who is listening to this video, um, first thing that you need to do is you need to understand how do you read, learn, recite, or understand the laws. How do you understand the codes? How law is there, um, we can see that it has been governed, like I told you before, that it is only governed by Information Technology Act. There are amendments, there are 13 chapters and 94 sections only, which governs the entire cyber laws. However, only this act cannot be used to protect or to choose an option career. What you need to do is what you need to do is you need to understand IPC, you need to understand CRPC, you need to understand CPC evidence, because there is no such cyber laws in India. Um, as a lawyer, as a student, law student, your focus should be to understand how do you read the sections, how do you read the provisions, notifications, proviso, case laws, how do you find solutions to your issues, how do you find solutions to a case, how do you build up a case, how do you draft a petition. These are small things that you need to know before starting your career in cyber law. Cyber law is a specialty. Cyber law is something that you will encounter on daily basis. But before that, you need to know the foundation. You need to know the basic thing, that what is law. How do you read law? And IPC, CRPC, CPC being your especially CRPC and CPC being the procedural law, you should know the entire procedure of what do you do with the piece of information or piece of issue that you have in your hand. How do you utilize it? How do you approach a court? How do you file a complaint or a petition? When it comes to IT Act, if you see the entire act only talks about five things. That's it. It talks about computer systems which damages, how your computer system, hard drive, data are damaged. You have online publications which gives you publications of obscene informations or any information that is not permitted to be there. You have data privacy, you have data theft, you have privacy violations, you have hacking and cyber terrorism. Apart from this, the IT Act, the entire act is silent about other crimes, other types of cyber crimes. And the need of the hour is in such a manner that there are so many types of crimes that are taking place, and yet the agencies are not available with the proper equipments or proper scenarios to solve these cases. And this gives you a bracket, this gives you an opportunity to enter and build up your own career. How do you do that? Is three things that you should remember. Is one, gather the informations, make yourself aware, and convert these informations and the awareness through this into your wisdom and go to the society and help them. Unless and until the cyber crimes are not stopped, cybercrime will increase, and it will just multiply in a geometrical manner. Like I told you, to become a cyber lawyer, you should first do LLB, that is a mandatory provision. Masters, if there is a master's in cyber law, any university or any institution that offers an LLM course in cyber law, one should study that. Guidance of a senior lawyer with respect to cyber crimes, the cases that he or she has solved, interaction with police officers or a cyber cell unit um, is a very good option. Then there is a post graduation courses, whether it's a diploma or any PG course with respect to cyber. And I'm not saying only law. You have to take up certain courses which deals with technicalities, which deals with how do you use the software. Like there are several institutes which are offering free coding classes. I think every person should be now also aware how to code. Code is something of creating your own software, creating your own language. One should know, like what I normally say is this lockdown has given an opportunity for people to enter into kitchen and cook their own food. Likewise, this lockdown has also given an opportunity for those people to go on the system and start coding and building their own application or a software or a virus. Whether you make a good food or a bad or poisonous food depends upon the person who makes it. But it has given you a platform to make it a good food or a poisonous food. Update yourself always. Keep on updating completely, whether it is a laws, whether it is crimes of India, whether it has taken a crime has taken place in a small township in some state of India, or it has taken into a somewhere in the country, whether it's a developed country or an underdeveloped country, irrespective, but keep yourself updated of what different kinds of crimes have taken place. Read about it, understand what is the concept. There are several websites which can help you, there are several courses which can help you. We have our institute also which helps in developing the knowledge about the technicality as well as the law. Concepts like a lawyer, normally a lawyer does not know these concepts, but there are concepts which need to be known, like what is the domain name, how it is formed, what is DNS, proxy servers, web hosters. Then like once you if you are a law student, you will be familiar with the words evidences, admissibility of evidence. But those who are not, and they are only related to technical cyber crimes, cyber systems, has to understand that evidence is a very important role. Like crime has taken place, uh, like there is three pillars of your constitution. You have judiciary, you have parliament, and you have executive. Parliament has made the law, that is your IT act. Someone has committed a crime, deliberately, intentionally or not intentionally, whatever it is. Enforcement agencies like police have arrested that person. As a lawyer, you are defending or prosecuting that person. The question now comes is about the evidence. What is the relevance of the evidence? The evidence that are placed before the court makes a lot of difference to understand whether a person has committed that offense or not, or whether he has deliberately, intentionally, or what is the entire scenario, comes only under the picture, under the purview when the evidence is revealed. What are the evidences, what are the kinds of evidences, what is primary evidence, what is secondary evidence, how a secondary evidence is should be presented in the court, what is the relevancy of that evidence, admissibility, whether that witness or whether that evidence is genuine or not, the truthfulness of the content of the evidence. All these things plays a very important role. As a lawyer, if you are a law student, as a lawyer you will come across the entire concept in your evidence act. You will come across during whether it is a CPC or an CRPC procedure, you will come across all these evidence. But when it comes to cyber law, there is a difference between how do you present your evidence. A primary evidence is your mobile phone, the data which is contained in the mobile phone from which it has been let's say, removed or misused. Your primary evidence becomes your mobile phone. But the moment you remove a data or make a copy of that information to another device, it becomes a secondary evidence. Secondary evidence, your 65B clearly states that a secondary evidence once has to be presented in the court along with a certificate from whom it has been issued. If you have an encounter with the enforcement agencies, you will understand that this section, the simplest section, that is 65B, is so much complicated. If you read it, it is very simple, but if you implement it, it is so complicated that the entire case is lost on prosecution because of lack of evidence or because of non-compliance of 65B. Section 65B is very, very important, and therefore it has to be read, has to be understood, interpreted, and implemented in such a manner that it is, your evidence is presented in a proper way before the court of law. The, therefore, it is very crucial to become a cyber lawyer. You should know not only the law but also the way it is implemented. You should know the law. You should know how it is implemented. You should know the technical reasoning behind these laws. What are your opportunities that, if you ever want to become a good cyber lawyer and want to practice after your law is completed, after you become a lawyer, you have a bar council sanad, and you start practicing. You have plenty of opportunities. You have plenty of opportunities where you can approach a corporate. You can help them design or protect the laws which through them how they connect. You can have clauses which can be implemented. um, you have datas. You have, how do you protect it? You can also enroll in government jobs. Post qualification competitive government exams are there. You can independently practice at several courts, tribunals. You can practice in high courts, whether it is civil side or criminal side. That is completely up to your discretion. You can become a cybercrime consultant or cyber law consultant. I won't say cybercrime consultant, but cybercrime and cyber law consultant you can become. You can become a teacher. You can become a professor to educate colleges and schools. Even like normally, if you see today also at when school and colleges at around 7th or 8th standard, they are inviting lawyers to educate students at a very tender age how to use or how to use a mobile, or how not to use a mobile, rather I would say. Because if you see during this lockdown scenario situation also, school and colleges have become online. Students have an opportunity to open the laptop or a mobile application and share anything that they want. This has also become a problem where the parents are not guiding them, or parents are not even observant as to what the child is doing with the mobile or a laptop. They think that they are using it, but what if the child ignorantly presses a button and the information of the entire parents financial data is leaked without the child knowing? Who is then to blame? And therefore, at this stage, it is very important that your education awareness or the training starts at a very threshold level, very basic level, school and colleges. You can further study in cyber domains. You have several courses which talks about in cyber. You can learn coding. You can learn how to make a website, what is to be done. Everything you can learn with respect to technicality as well as law. The more you understand both the aspects, you become a good cyber lawyer. So I would wish everybody that such career options that you will choose in future is should be beneficial to you and give you an opportunity where we have good cyber lawyers in the society. What we want to see, as of now, it is less, and we want to see more. Thank you,
Thank,
everyone.
Thank you so much, Rahul ji, for amazing session. Please keep the slide like that only. We'll take up some questions. So we have got a lot of questions, but we had a lot of issues, so we won't be able to take all questions. So we'll have few questions. So Rahul ji, one question is career in cyber law a best option, or what do you feel according for any student? Suppose he's not from law background, so I think the student who is asking, so he's not from law background, he has not done any law, he's from any engineering or degree background. So
Hmm.
career, so as you already mentioned that he can do a LLB and enter into things. But nowadays there are being courses in PGD courses, post graduation
Hmm.
diploma courses, for
Yes.
that the prerequisite for them is just having any degree, and you can do that course. So how suggest, how do you want to comment on that?
See, career in law, cyber law is a very good option. But if you're looking out to start a career with a very high package and you think that you want to earn from this in coming immediately coming years, then I don't think that cyber career in cyber law will be good for you, because to understand law, to understand technicalities, you will at least require 5 to 7 years. It is a very basic thing. After 5 to 7 years, yes, you will get a window where your career will flourish. But if you're trying to understand that you start learning from today and you start earning from tomorrow, this is not a career option of cyber law.
Okay. So, any institutes you want to tell for which are good for cyber law course? There's a question from one student.
See, as such, there are many institute. Like we also have our institute called IndianCyberInstitute.com. You can visit the website. We train about a lot of students and company corporate officers and bankers with respect to the laws or the technologies that can be used to protect the data. As such, India has provided a lot of cyber institute, but to determine whether which is good and which is appropriate, that is something a person should identify.
Okay. So one last question, Rahul ji, and then we'll try to wind up. So many students are asking. You did initially bachelor's in business administration, and what was that turning point that you thought of that is not your cup of tea, and you came
No, no,
into this
no. That is
kind
my
of
cup of tea. Business, see, that becomes my personal choice, but only out of
okay.
curiosity. If a person wants to know, my knowledge of anything is not bad. So even if you are learning about, even if you are learning how to do repair of your of your bike, but still you are a finance or you are a banker, your knowledge is nothing which is bad. I did my business administration from US to understand how business works. I wanted to do law because something was which I was very inclined to know. I shifted my career from business administration to law, which is very helpful to me. It was not that that was not cup of my tea, or
Okay.
this is something I like. Uh, I like both.
Okay. So the one last question. Some student is there, so he is pursuing LLB this year, and
Hmm.
he has technical knowledge too. So, do you want to
Hmm.
suggest him any path to enter into cyber laws?
You are studying If you are studying LLB this year, I will say that you complete your law first. Start practicing law, because knowing law is something else, practicing law is something different only. Reading a act will make you understand, okay, this is the act. Implication of act will make you understand, okay, this is not the act. You have to know more about this. You have to understand each and every definition. You have to understand each and every punctuation also. It makes a lot of difference. So complete your LLB. If you have a technical knowledge, know-how, it's a wonderful. Keep upgrading yourself. By the time you complete your law, your knowledge of technical know-how will also increase. Then select a path.
Okay. So yeah, so this is last question. Sorry, I said last time.
No,
I'm taking two more questions.
no, no.
Uh, if if a person is learning, because if you're you're learning some stuff and unintentionally you commit some crime, so would you be penalized?
Learning see, now the question is unintentionally. If you see the definition unintentionally, it becomes a, like I told you, how the evidence is put against you is important. You
Okay.
commit a crime, how would you be penalized? If you commit a crime, yes, you will be penalized. If you unintentionally break the red signal and you cross the line, you can be penalized. But it depends upon the person who is standing there and holding you. राइट, आपने अनजाने में सिग्नल तोड़ दिया, आप चले गए आगे, आपको पकड़ा नहीं किसी ने तो बात अलग है। आपने अनइंटेंशनली तोड़ा और सामने वाले ने पकड़ लिया आपको, आप ये तो नहीं बोल सकते हो कि इग्नोरेंट ऑफ लॉ इज एन एक्सक्यूज। whether it is
Okay.
intentional or whether it is unintentional, that is a completely a different story. But if the crime has been committed, it has been committed.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rahul ji. Again, once again, thanks a lot from the Cyber Jagrithi board and the Cyber Vakeel team. So for taking out, this much time and struggling with a lot of technical issues. You are connected with two devices, audio from your phone and the screen from your laptop. Thank you so much for taking that much pain for us. And
Thank you so
students
much.
will
Thank you
come.
so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, participants, for joining us in this evening, Saturday evenings. We are killing your weekend. So we'll come back again tomorrow with Miss, Advocate Khushbu Jain ji. So she is an advocate at Supreme Court. So she will be talking about cyber laws and the challenges that are faced in this, whatever IT Act, and also there are a lot of things that happens here. So we will come back again tomorrow. So stay tuned and do hit like and do hit the subscribe, and also do check out the website of Sir's organization, and have an amazing evening. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.